Friends, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's having an amazing day. We're just going to get started in a few minutes. I have a lot of information to share with you today about immigration, about visas, about visa interviews and visa delays, consulates. Bring your questions. But first, I want to share with you a message about mindset. I think the right mindset is really absolutely critical if you're going to crush your immigration case. Rohit, welcome, welcome. If you want to do well with immigration, you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right way of thinking, because if you don't, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to get beaten down. It's going to drive you insane. The correct mindset is to have a relentless determination to get approved. A relentless determination. Relentless determination. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let me tell you a story. I have a client right now who's actually, all of my clients I consider friends, but this client is particularly close with me. He's like a brother to me. And he's really discouraged. And he should be discouraged because immigration is giving him a really hard time. They're requesting information that's not fair. They're not treating his case in a reasonable manner. They're taking too long. And it's very hard for him. And he's starting to break down, and he's starting to get discouraged, and he's starting to give up hope. And you can't give up hope. You have to be relentlessly, you have to have a relentless determination to get approved. You have to have a relentless determination to get approved. If you give up, or if you just say, look, this isn't fair, this isn't right. If you start looking at other people's cases and you say, well, this person was approved in 6 months, my case has been pending for much, much longer than that. That's not fair. That's not reasonable. I think you'll lose hope and you'll give up. And you can't do that. You have to fight. Sometimes immigration will not approve you without a fight. Sometimes it takes a fight. And of course you need the right lawyer, but a relentless determination will lead you to the right lawyer. Of course, I'm available to help, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the right mindset. You can't give up. You can't expect things to be too easy. You also have to know that you have to be determined to win. You can't let a little setback throw you off. Okay? Is everyone clear on the mindset? Because I think it's really, really important. It's really important. It's an important way to think about things. You can't get depressed over your immigration case. It's easy to fall into despair when things don't go your way. My message to my client, my friend who's discouraged, I told him, look, think back to your life, to your experiences. Think back to when you accomplished something that was really difficult, something that was hard. Maybe you didn't succeed the first time you tried. Think about that and reflect on that. You didn't give up. You kept fighting. You kept trying. You kept improving. You put more effort into it. You brought in resources. You called upon all the things that you needed to do to win. And I think that's what it takes sometimes for immigration. Of course, not every case is like that. Some cases are easier than others. And I hope your case is particularly easy. But I think you have to have the right mindset, a relentless determination to win. If your case gets denied, you refile it. Maybe you'll do an appeal. If you hired a lawyer and the lawyer was no good, hire a different lawyer. Or if the lawyer gave you an opinion that you didn't like, get a second opinion or a third opinion. Get informed, do research, seek out resources that are going to help you reach your goal. But don't give up on your goal. Keep at it and have faith. Trust the process. Don't get down, discouraged, or despair. Again, as I said before, think about the times in your life where you did something that was really hard. It didn't come easily. and think about the sense of accomplishment that you gained when you reached your goal. I think that this will be your lodestar. This will help you stay strong in your dark moments. I know Danny joined us. Danny is somebody who's really special to our firm, and I'm glad you joined in. And I hope this message helps you and resonates with you, because I know sometimes cases are not easy. Sometimes they take a fight. Our job as lawyers is to help you reach your goal. And the motto that I chose for my immigration law firm was to get unstuck. We help people get unstuck to reach their immigration goals. And if you're down, if you're in a state of despair, if you're discouraged or you're depressed, if there's something holding you back, we're going to take your case and we're going to put you on our back and pull it over the finish line. That's our goal. We're going to help you get unstuck. That's what we're going to do. And, everybody in my office, we're all working together. We're relentless. We're determined to help you succeed. That's my message, my mindset message on this day today. It's a mindset message. And I hope it resonates with all of you. I hope it inspires you to succeed, to persevere, to fight, to not give up, and not let these terrible agencies ruin your life, because they can. You have to fight back. You have to get yourself unstuck mentally and actually. So that's my inspiring message for the day. I'm going to answer all your questions. Danny says, this man, Josh, is truly a God sent from heaven. He will do anything to fight for you, all whom are having. Man. Well, I appreciate the praise. I can only promise you one thing, and that is we're passionate, we care. Well, I guess that's more than one thing, but we're passionate, we care, and we will do everything we can to help you reach your goal and get unstuck. A hard road with immigration, please call Josh and his team. We're here for you. Mohammed from Bangladesh, update on F41, waiting for interview for over a year and a half, documents completed. We have a lot of clients from Bangladesh, and we actually have a teammate who works for our firm who's based in Bangladesh. So we feel a particular kinship with the Bangladeshi community. But my message for you, you're from Bangladesh and you've been waiting for over a year and a half after your interview, or you've been waiting for your interview. Well, let's talk about that for a second. If you've been waiting for your interview and you've done everything, but you haven't gotten an interview, what do you do when you haven't gotten an interview? Because it can be so frustrating. You contact the agencies and they say, yeah, you have to keep waiting. You can't get an interview yet. You have to keep waiting. You have to keep waiting. Well, what do you do when they won't even schedule your interview? The answer is the same answer that I give for many of you. You have to file a lawsuit. This is what we do. We file visa delay lawsuits. We challenge immigration processing delays. We go to court and we fight and we say, look, this is not reasonable. You cannot hold up a visa forever. You have these agencies, the State Department, they have an obligation, a mandatory legal obligation to make a decision within a reasonable period of time. And when they don't do that, you can force them to do that. You can challenge it. You can fight back. And that's what I'm here to help people do. That's how we get these visas unstuck. And that's how we can help your case get unstuck. So if you have a visa that's been delayed and you're sick and tired of waiting, I want you to send me an email. I'm going to put my email in here. Here we go. This is my email address. I want you to send me an email and tell me what's going on with your case. And in the subject line, I want you to write no more waiting. No more waiting. Put that in the subject so you can grab my attention. That's the message that I send to everyone. No more waiting. Because what do you get from waiting? You get more waiting, right? Waiting doesn't work. Waiting leads you nowhere except in a pattern of more waiting. I talk to people all the time who've been waiting for months and months and months and years and years and years. We've had several cases this week where we've been hired, where people filed the visa petition in 2016 and 2017. 2016 and 2017. Imagine that. This is 6 years ago, 5 years ago. We're very close to it. That's not fair. That's not reasonable. It's not legal. And what are you going to do about it? Well, the solution is to go to court and file a lawsuit. This is what we do. I have been admitted in, I don't even know how many federal district courts, probably 35, maybe more. And we file lawsuits all over the country in local federal district courts. We file them in DC and Maryland, where the agencies are headquartered. We seek out the best court, the most appropriate court for your particular case. And that's what we do. Let me go to some more questions. All right, Facebook user. That's an odd name, but I'll take it. I don't have what's called constitutional protection, as I applied for an EB2 visa from outside the US. It is approved, but is stuck at the embassy for more than 2 years. Do I have the right to sue the government? Will the court hear from us? This is a great question. It's a great question that's almost taking up my mouth, but right. So this concept, I think the premise behind this question is that if you're not located in the United States, if you're physically outside the United States, then you cannot file a lawsuit. That's the premise of this question. It's simply not true. This is false. We help people all the time with delayed visas who are not in the United States, because anyone seeking a visa is not in the United States. If you were in the United States, you wouldn't need a visa. So you have the right, the legal right, to file a lawsuit to challenge a processing delay, even if you're not in the United States. So I hope you contact me. We can definitely help you. 2 years is unreasonable. Think about the EB2 visa. EB2 is probably based on national interest waiver. That means that your visa was already approved. That means that you've shown that you have an exceptional ability, extraordinary ability in some area of law. Maybe you're a scientist. You have the right to this visa, or at least you deserve a decision. They can't string you along forever and ever. So please contact us. Whale Izat. Hello, brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Contact me. I can help. Let's see here. Loren Kell. Great question from our friend on YouTube. Love the mask. Says here, speaking of waiting, are EAD processing times determined by your local field office? I'm seeing people get approved months after my application. Well, it's so frustrating when your EAD is stuck. You need to work. You need to be able to work. And you cannot live in the United States if you can't work. You can't live anywhere if you can't work. How do you eat? How do you survive? I couldn't make ends meet if I couldn't work. I need to provide for my family. I need to be able to afford a sandwich for lunch. This is all basic necessity to support yourself. But getting back to the processing times for EADs are absurd. They're ridiculous. They drag them on forever and ever and ever. And they vary from case to case, from office to office. But you have to keep in mind that, let's pull back and let's not get technical. And let's just think about this. You have the right to have your application for a work permit. You have the right to have that process within a reasonable period of time. For most of my career as an immigration lawyer, work permits were approved within 3 months, within 4 months, within 5 months. Now, who knows? So the solution is the same solution that I present to all the other cases. We go to court, we file a lawsuit, we challenge the processing delay. And you don't allow yourself to sit back and wait forever for them to get around to doing your EAD. That's it. Armando, hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Here's a question for Ahmed Maksud. Josh, I have a question. I filed a mandamus lawsuit and the court sent a consent to magistrate judge form. Will this consent delay the writ of mandamus? The answer to that question is no. That's the short answer. And let me give you a longer answer that's a little more comprehensive, a little more helpful. What is a magistrate judge? A magistrate judge is, how do I describe this? A judge who decides certain issues in a case, sort of, I don't know how to describe it exactly, but they're still judges. You still have a court judge, and it will make things go faster because a full judge, a judge, has a huge docket. A judge has many, many, many cases. So if you proceed in front of a judge, that judge may not have time to focus on your case, excuse me, very quickly. By going in front of a magistrate judge, things may go faster. In my mandamus lawsuits, in my immigration delay lawsuits, whenever I have an opportunity to proceed before a magistrate judge, I always take that because it seems to me a way to get things moving along faster. Here we go. Facebook user question. I gave an interview December 22nd, 2021, but they gave me a questionnaire. There's no update. What should I do? Well, you have the right to get a decision on your case within a reasonable period of time. And what I recommend that you do is reach out to our office. I'll put my email again in the questions. Here's my email address. Send me an email. Tell me what's going on with your case. And in the subject line, write no more waiting. I want to know what kind of visa you're seeking. I want to know how the delay is impacting your life, how it's affecting you. I want to know all these things so that I can determine how best to help you. But I don't think you should keep waiting. I don't think that at all. Here's a question from our friend on YouTube. Which two forms do you need to apply for the H-1B and H-2B? This live video is for general questions, not going to give you step-by-step instructions right now on how to apply for this visa, but I think a good place to start would be the USCIS website. Take a look at Form I-129. I-129. Take a look at that. Look at the instructions. That's a good place to start. Okay, our friend Ahmad Abdallah, our friend on Facebook or on YouTube. Thank you so much, all the people out there on YouTube. I love you all, and I'm so grateful that you have spent time with me and my content. I hope that the videos that I make are useful to you and are helpful and are inspiring. And if you have questions or you have any other visas, any videos that you would like me to make, just message me and I'll be happy to make a video just for you to dive deeply into your question. But please let me know what your question is. Let's see. Let me take some other questions. All right. Abdurrahman Al-Khamiz. Thank you so much, brother, for tuning in. Thank you for your question. It seems like a very good one, and I'm going to take my time to answer it. Our brother on YouTube says, I've been rejected on the spot. He asked me, why are you visiting the US? And I said, I want to attend some concerts and see the West Coast. He said, good luck, and handed me my passport. Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that you didn't get your visa. I'm sorry that you were rejected. I'm on the West Coast. I love going to see concerts, and I would love for you to be able to do that too. We here in Los Angeles, there's great weather. There's outdoor music, and it's a big part of my fun and enjoyment. So I wish that you had a chance to do that. But let me dive into your question more specifically. Why was your visitor visa rejected, and what can you do to get a visitor visa? What's important to know about getting a visitor visa? I think that's a good question for many people out there, that many people out there may have this question. And let me try to answer it. First of all, anyone who's seeking a visitor visa is presumed to be someone who intends to immigrate to the United States, right? And in order to get the visa, you have to overcome that presumption. And how do you do that? Well, if you say, why do you want to come to the United States? You say, I want to go to the West Coast and I want to see some concerts. That's a good reason to visit the United States, but it doesn't address the concerns that the consulate may have. The consulate, in order to give you a visitor visa, in order to approve you, they have to be persuaded that you are actually going to come back to your home country and that you have significant ties to your home country, rather than thinking of all the reasons why you want to come to the United States. What you need to do is you need to think of all the great reasons why you're going to go back to your home country. So you can say, look, I'm married. My wife is in my home country. I have children. My children are in my home country. I'm in school and I have to be back at school on May 1st. So I'm only going to stay a week because I have to go to school. I've already paid for the school. I have a car. I have an apartment. I have a house. I have this and that and the other thing. I have all these ties to my home country. I can afford to stay in a hotel. I'm paying for the hotel. I have my hotel booked up. So you're making it seem as though, and in fact, you're just a visitor. You're only going to stay for a very, very short period of time. And then, because of all these compelling reasons, you're going to go back to your home country. That's how you get your visitor visa approved. That's how you give yourself a chance to get your visitor visa approved. And sometimes visitor visas are denied unfairly or without a lot of analysis, and that's unfortunate. But those are my thoughts on how you set that up. I hope that's helpful. The fruit bats. I love the fruit bats. I've seen them live many times, so I'm a fan. I love the guy's voice. He's a great songwriter. I'd love to go with you to see the fruit bats. If you get a visitor visa and you're coming to LA, we'll go see the fruit bats together. Love that. What other questions can I have here? Hi, from Kenya, just learning how things work and apply for a visa. Well, this is a good channel for you. I try to make visas that are videos that are very useful for people. I try to cover all sorts of topics. I've got all sorts of new videos coming out about how to succeed at your interview, about mindset and how to succeed, and how to grow, and how to crush your immigration goals. I try to make videos on all aspects of green card, citizenship, things like that. Let me see. All right, Allison. I love the rabbit ears. Thank you for tuning in. Her question: I heard some time ago that getting your visa, your citizenship in 5 years, they want to do it in 3. What's going on with that? Any update? Great question. So let's talk about citizenship. Let's talk about how to become a citizen. So I think what you're getting at, Allison, is that if you have a green card and you're living in the United States, you want to apply for naturalization so you can get rid of your green card and become a naturalized US citizen. So in order to do that, generally, you have to have had your green card and be living in the United States for 5 years, or more specifically, 4 years, 9 months, and 1 day. Now, there are many requirements for naturalization, but that's one of them. Now, what about 3 years? Yes, you can do it within only 3 years if the following conditions are met. First, you have to be married to a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. You have to be married to a U.S. citizen, not a permanent resident, but a U.S. citizen. You have to be living together physically in the same space with your spouse. And then you can apply for citizenship through naturalization 2 years and 9 months and 1 day from the date you got your green card as indicated on your green card. Now, that's the 3-year rule, and then that's shorter than the 5-year rule. Then there's also a way to shorten the naturalization requirements if you're seeking, if you have a connection to the military. I won't get into that, but that's another way to do it. Victoria, are they going to renew TPS for Venezuela? I would say yes. That's my prediction. And I certainly hope so. The situation in Venezuela is horrible. It hasn't gotten any better. And all of my friends from Venezuela who are in the U.S. need TPS just as badly today as they did a year ago. So yes, I hope so. What other questions? Why do you think Canadians are getting more 221Gs than usual? Well, I don't think that they are. We have handled numerous cases for Canadians seeking visas in Montreal, and the rate of problems has been consistently high. So I think a lot of people think that Canada is so similar to the US. Why would they have visa problems? But they do. A lot of times Canadians who have visa problems have some connection to other countries. They're Iranian or Pakistani, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they're just Canadians, natural born in Canada. Let me see if I can go back and answer some questions. Here's a question from Mr. P from YouTube. Thank you for your question. First of all, thank you for tuning in and spending some time with us. It says here, if I have a green card, can I file a divorce against my native country husband to get married to an American BF boyfriend? I guess. The answer is yes. If you're married and you got married in your home country and now you live in the United States, you can apply, you can file for divorce. And whether you file for divorce in your home country or you file for divorce in the United States, that's a question best answered by a family lawyer. I'm not a family lawyer. I'm an immigration guy. I do immigration law. So I only know about the immigration aspects of family law. But you want to run this by a family lawyer. One of the common mistakes, now listen up here, Mr. P, one of the common mistakes people make is they move to the U.S. They have a marriage in their home country. Getting a divorce in the U.S. is perceived as being too difficult, so they want to file for divorce in their home country. So they do that, but they never really lived in their home country when they file the divorce, and it goes sideways. So definitely want to run it by a family lawyer. I hope that helps. I'm going back to answer some more questions. Hang on. That question was asked. Let's see. I got some good questions here. What else is on your mind, friends? What other questions do you have? Here's my email address again. If you have questions, ask me anything. Send me an email with your details. I would be happy to answer all your questions. Here's a question from Miss Beauty K Kitchen. Love the name. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your question. My friend came to the U.S. on a fiance visa and got married, but never filed for. He's married again. Can his wife file for him? Okay, so again, let me go over this question. I think I understand it. Someone comes to the United States on a K-1 fiance visa. The purpose of that visa is for you to be able to enter the U.S., get married, and apply for a green card through marriage. Well, it sounds like the person didn't get married or married someone else and now wants to get a green card through marriage. Yes, you can do that generally, but You can't get a green card in the United States. There is another process that you have to use. And typically the path that we use is called the I-601A. It's a waiver process. And it allows you to get a green card through marriage to someone who did not petition for you to get a K-1 visa. So this would be a good video for me to make, but it's also a good topic for you to explore in a consultation with our office or someone else. Hope this helps. Hope these questions are helpful and inspiring. Stacy, how long after getting a 10-year green card? How long after getting the 10-year green card after marriage can someone apply for citizenship? Okay, so you can apply for naturalization 4 years, 9 months, and 1 day after the very first day that you got your green card. So take a look at your green card and it'll have a date, and the date will say permanent resident since. That's the very first day that you became a permanent resident technically. Add 4 years, 9 months, and 1 day to that date. And then that's the very first day that you can apply for naturalization. Now, there is a 3-year waiting period, a faster way to do it, if you are married to a U.S. citizen and living with your U.S. citizen spouse, and you've done so continuously. Then you can apply 2 years, 9 months, and 1 day from the date that you got your you first initially got your green card. That's a bit of a mouthful. I hope it makes sense. Let me know if you have questions. Hope this helps, folks. Oh, we have another good one. My IR1, that's a marriage-based visa case. I can barely see over the questions. I'm hiding. Let me put this down and I'll read the question. My IR1 case, let's see, I can move my camera over. My IR1 case is pending visa issuance in Islamabad, Pakistan embassy. I had my interview on the 3rd of December and my visa was approved. The consular officer said that I will get my visa in 2 weeks. It's been almost 3.5 months. No update. Please guide me what I should do. So first of all, I'm sorry that you're having to wait this long. That's horrible. But I hear stories like this all the time. People go to the interview. Everything goes well. The officer says, congratulations. The officer says, I'm going to approve this or recommend for approval. The point is, the visa interview happens in a way that gives you the expectation that you're going to be approved and get the visa shortly. But in fact, that doesn't work. There's one thing to keep in mind. There are really only 2 effective statuses when it comes to applying for the visa. One is you either have the visa or you do not have the visa. Those are the only 2 statuses. If you have the visa is in your hands. And you can get on an airplane and come to the United States and enter the United States. If the visa is not in your hands, then everything else is just talk. That's all it is. So if they say, congratulations, you're approved, you look online in SEAC and it says issued, all of that is nice, but it doesn't solve your problem. You need the visa in your hand. So what do? How do you guide yourself? The number one thing that you should do is you should hire us to file a lawsuit. I know it sounds self-serving for me as a lawyer to say that you should hire me to be your lawyer. I know that. But on the other hand, if you don't file a lawsuit, the only other way out of this, the only other way is to take your hands and sit on them and keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And basically, you're just hoping that they get around to making a decision on your case. Our office has tons of clients from Pakistan, tons. And that consulate in Islamabad, they're not in the business of providing excellent customer service. They're not in the business of promptly adjudicating visas. They don't take action in a reasonable time period, and we sue them over and over and over again. And we help so many people with visa delays. So if you have a visa delay and you're stuck and you don't want to keep waiting, then what do? Well, Here's my email address. Send me an email with the details of your case. And in the subject line, you know what to put. No more waiting. No more waiting. Put that in the subject line. Let's come up with a plan to get your visa issued. Let's do it. Here we have a question from Pania and She Channel. What should we do when we email USCIS but they never respond to us? Well, you need to take action. And USCIS is not in the customer service business. They don't care. They're not responsive. They're not going to answer your email. They're not going to do anything. You have to take action. You have to consult with a very, very good immigration lawyer. Our office is ready to help you. And you can't just say, well, USCIS isn't going to get back to me. I'm just wait for them to answer my email. They're not going to get back to you. They don't do a good job. So please let me know. I'm going to look for some other questions here. Let's see here. I'm trying to find. Okay. Here we go. Our friend, the letter A. I'm stuck in Syria for administrative processing, and I have my case sent to a visa desk in 2016. What do you do? Well, it sounds like a broken record, but what you need to do is reach out to me, and no one should have to wait since 2016. 2016 was a long time ago. 2016 was a very, very long time ago. It was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. Nobody should have to wait that long. My friend in Syria, Pakistan, Islamabad, New York, California, Texas, wherever you are, whether you're on the face of the moon, I want you to reach out to me, and I want you to send me an email with this message. No more waiting. Email me at this address. I'll be so delighted to hear from you. And even if I can't help you, even if I can't take your case, I'll take the time to answer your question as comprehensively and as helpfully as I can. But if you're waiting, you need to take action and you need to put an end to the waiting. That's not fair to make people wait forever and ever and ever. Let me try and answer the question from Bakir Mansouri. Please let me know. I went for my interview. It was very long, almost 3.5 hours, and the main focus was the age difference and why my family didn't attend the interview. I explain. I can barely see over the question, but I'm going to put this question up. All you can see is my big bald forehead. They didn't like that your family wasn't at the wedding. And I explained my family didn't come. They took the original documents. What do you do? Okay. So, Bakir, let me answer your question. If you want to get a green card through marriage or a visa or any other benefit through marriage, you have to prove that your marriage is based on a genuine relationship, a real relationship from the heart. It's not just something you did to get a green card. Now, I don't know you, but I'm sure that your relationship is genuine and real and meaningful. And it's not just something you did to get a green card, but it comes from the heart. And in order to win, that's what you have to show to the consulate. When there is an age difference, they don't like that. If the woman is significantly older than the man, they really don't like that. And I'm not giving you my personal opinion on your relationship. I'm not judging you. If your wife is older than you are, I think that's beautiful. If your relationship is one that works for you, then I support you. But from experience, I know that when there's an age difference, a significant age difference, and if the woman is older than the man and the woman has the green card or US citizenship, they're skeptical of this. And you have to prove you can overcome their concerns by showing that the relationship is genuine. One of your questions was, why didn't the family attend? Well, that's a very good question. Why didn't they attend? If you had a celebration, why was the family not there? It doesn't speak well of your relationship if her family didn't attend. Now, maybe your wedding was in uh, Iran and the family lives in the US and they couldn't come to the wedding and travel was difficult and we have a pandemic, so maybe it's not advisable to meet anyway. I get all that. Those are all good reasons, but nevertheless, you've got to think of ways to show that the relationship is genuine. I'd love to see a picture, Bakir, of you with her family together. Maybe not even doesn't even have to be at the wedding. Maybe they came over and you had a celebration with maybe her parents with your parents. Something that reflects this and demonstrates the real seriousness of your relationship. Those are my thoughts on this. Thanks for the videos. They're helpful. Are you working with non-immigrant cases? Yes, we do. We don't work with visitor visas. So if you have a delayed visitor visa or you need help on how to get a visitor visa, I'm going to make some videos about that, but I don't take on clients who need help with visitor visas. I'm sorry, but I will do anything I can to help you. I hope this is helpful. I'll be back in touch with more information soon. Take care, stay safe, and